For interpretation, we use visual arts to represent our 6 chosen literary pieces. In the story of Prince Bantugan, we use poster in interpretation. Bantugan is a Maranao epic poem from the Lake Lanao region of Mindanao, Philippines. It consists of 17 cycles with 72,000 lines in iambic tetrameter. As we can see in the poster, Prince Bantugan is a good-looking, brave, and handsome prince of the kingdom of Bumbaran. He's standing beside his wife, Princess Datingbang. The moral lesson of the story is that the good Prince Bantugan is contented of what he already has. We don't have to be jealous of the traits and successes of others, because everyone is differently beautiful and can be successful in many ways. The epic also encodes customary law, standards of social and ethical behaviors, and notion of aesthetic beauty. For the epic Indarapatra and Sulaiman, we also use poster in interpretation. As we can see in the poster, there are 2 men. The left one is Indarapatra and the right one is Sulaiman. This is the famous Mindanao epic in English. This is the story of the king Indarapatra and his brother Sulaiman. Indarapatra is a brave and wise king. He is compassionate and possesses outstanding leadership and qualities. Sulaiman, he is obedient to his king. Without mental reservation, he seeks to defend and protect his countrymen. The story of Indarapatra and Sulaiman teaches people that love for family and country or community are no different. Indarapatra's care for Sulaiman reflects his care for his community. It teaches people that love, when shown, can bring forth good things. Deep in the darkest heart of the Philippines sits a terrifying creature. As the night falls, it begins to hunt for human blood, stalking its prey in the shadow of your town, neighborhood, and even in your home. For the story of Aswang or Evil Aswang, we use poster in interpretation. The story Aswang was born out of Philippine folklore, with stories of this terrifying creature dating back to at least the 16th century, when Spanish explorer created the first written record of this monster. The explorers noted that all of the monster in their folklore, the aswang was the most feared by native people. The term aswang originated from the Filipino word aswang, meaning dog, because the beasts usually take forms of the dogs. As to why Filipinos still believe in shifting creature, strong oral tradition retains its primary factor. Up to these days, aswang are still used to scare children, and they're still being attached to lewd, unexplained acts in some communities. Lastly, in the story of the first Dorian, we use poster. As we can see in the poster, there is an old and ugly king named Bromay, and Impit Porok the hermit who casts the fruit Dorian. The hermit casts a curse on the fruit because the king fails to invite him in the feast. The hermit makes the king promise to invite him as a guest of honor once the plant mixture works. The plan works and the bride falls in love with the king, but the king throws a feast to celebrate but fails to invite the hermit. That's why the hermit casts a curse on the fruit. In retaliation, Impit cast a curse upon the fruit. The sweet smell was replaced with foul odor, while the smooth skin of the fruit was covered with thorns, which is how the durian smells and looks today, yet still retains its sweetness. The theme of the story of the first durian is that one should never forget to keep their promises and to give gratitude or credit where it is due.
Now let's proceed to the interpretation of the two literary works, which is The Love in the Cornhusk and The Legend of Maria. Love in the Cornhusk deals with illusions of love which were ultimately shattered, quite abruptly as it turns out, by the sordid mess which love so often leaves behind. Ada Rivera Ford's story illustrates this by depicting a young woman with so much promise, brought low by love. Moreover, this fall from grace is emphasized by the marked physical difference in Tinang before and after her marriage. Suddenly, all too quickly, she snaps to reality when her baby is threatened. Ultimately, the airy dreams of love give way to the weight of reality. Tinang startled violently and remembered her child. What Tinang has in her and now is love for her baby and resigned devotion to her fate. She has no time and no life left for Amado. Thus, among the cornhusks, the letter fell unnoticed. As Filipino, our culture and tradition is quite unique. It consists of Filipino mythical creatures like the aswang, which was significantly part of discussions from generation to generation, right? But as time goes by, there are still traditional belief that remains to be very popular and known to every Filipino. And one of these is the urban legend of Maria Labo, the legendary scar-faced aswang of the Philippines. Accordingly, the woman received a serious wound on her face but managed to escape. Until today, she is said to roam all over the Philippines in search of her next meal. In this time, lady would be known as Maria Labo. Labo is an Ilonggo term which means to slash using a bolo knife or itak due to the large scar that make her a grotesque figure of nightmares. Either we believe in it or not, Maria Labo and some urban legend have greatly affected and influenced our consciousness. We Filipinos have always been fond of the unknown and the supernatural, hence why we have so many urban legends pervading the country.